Our society, maybe working in, I don't know, hospitals, schools, running businesses, our neighbours. And Reform says it wants to deport them in certain circumstances. I think it is a real sign of just how divisive they are, and that their politics and their policies will tear this country apart.
GBNews can reveal almost 900 small boat migrants have crossed the English Channel illegally so far this weekend. It brings the total number of arrivals this year to more than 33,000. Earlier, French authorities confirmed 3 asylum seekers, 2 women and a man, died when their boats got into difficulty this morning. Veteran politician George Galloway was detained earlier under the Terrorism Act at Gatwick Airport. Officers from the Met Police's counter-terrorism unit stopped the 71-year-old former MP as he returned to the UK. It's understood Mr Galloway and his wife were travelling back from Moscow via Abu Dhabi. In a statement, the Met Police said neither were arrested and both have been allowed to go on their way. Harrods has warned customers their personal data may have been taken in an IT systems breach. The department store says information such as names and contact details of some online customers was taken from the systems of a third-party provider. Harrods described the breach as an isolated incident and says no passwords or payment details were taken. President Trump has ordered the deployment of US troops to Portland, Oregon. He's described the city as war-ravaged following a small protest outside one federal immigration enforcement office. The US president claims his move will help to protect US ICE facilities from domestic terrorists, adding on Truth Social that he is authorising the use of full force if necessary. It has been met with pushback from the Democrats, who say there's no need for federal troops to be sent to the city. And England are the Women's Rugby World Cup champions for a third time. They beat Canada 33-13 in front of a record 82,000 fans at Twickenham earlier. Fullback Ellie Kildunn scored another superb solo effort, just like she did in the semi-final. Forwards Amy Cockayne, Alex Matthews and Abby Ward added further tries for a comfortable victory. It's England's first world title in 11 years after they lost finals in 2017 and 2022. Those are your headlines. I'll be back with more at 9.
Tune into GB News Radio wherever you are. Online, on DAB digital radio, on TuneIn, on Radio Player and on your smart speaker. Just say, play GB News.
Welcome back to Saturday 5 Extra. You've all been getting your questions in for us, which means it is that time where I kind of hold my breath, wondering what you're going to ask, because it's Ask the Five. OK, so it's time for you to have your say and Ask the Five, where you can ask us anything you want. So let's hear from our first question, which is from Alan.
Good evening, folks. My question this week is, surely the first deterrent you would have in terms of illegal immigration is a strong, robust law. So why do we not have a law that says that if you enter the country illegally, you will go to prison for 10 years? No ifs, no buts, no appeals, no refugee status, no asylum claims, no legal aid. You'll do 10 years hard labour, after which we'll deport you. Instead of all this faffing about that goes on with one person saying this and one person saying that. Thank you.
OK, so Alan thinks that if we just had a law that was really draconian, so if you landed on our shores, you got put into a detention centre, no legal aid, no asylum, nothing, 10 years hard labour, and then you got deported, no one would come anymore. And I think he's right.
It's a little bit intense, I would say. I think there is definitely an argument, though, to say that, you know, you've come here illegally, that is a crime. You do put in, you get put in some sort of detention camp while your asylum asylum gets processed. I think that is kind of fair, to be honest, rather than a 4-star hotel.
It's sort of wet centre.
I don't think that is. No, listen, detention camps, workers' camps, I mean, that's a little bit intense, isn't it?
I actually am in favour of mandatory minimum sentencing. We have a judiciary which is so ideologically captured that they can interpret sentencing guidelines however they wish. I think it should be put back in the hands of the people via the government.
Yeah, but we don't have the space for people to be doing a 10-year stretch every time they turn up illegally. I think that's the major flaw. Otherwise, Alan, it's great, loads of good ideas. That's not OK, is it? We can't afford that.
I mean, I actually think you're absolutely right. Nobody should arrive on these shores, we don't know who they are, and be allowed to wander around in our communities. There should be locked detention centres. What we do then is, I think, very quick on-site processing, no legal aid. Why are we paying for these people to appeal our decisions and deporting back to the countries that they came from? Obviously, Kai, I know you agree with that, but it's just whether or not the lawyers out there will agree.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, Alan knows that I disagree with him entirely, disagree with most of you. I don't think that sort of knee-jerk policies like the one that Will just seemed to endorse does much at all to... I mean, even if it does deter people, I think that the loss
of course it would
to
deter
Britain's
people.
reputation, the loss, just for those cases where actually there's such a clear reason why they're here, and to banish these people to the countryside in work camps, as it seems Alan's suggesting, is just
quickly,
wrong.
when lefties say, Britain's global reputation, what they mean is New York Times readers in West Village. They don't mean everyday
that's
people.
not what I mean.
People like them. They don't
No, that's
actually
not what I mean.
the
I know you have a certain idea of the lefties, but you need to really sort of get rid of the chip on your shoulder, mate. I mean, we're not all bad.
Well,
he lightened up in the end.
all bad.
Not all bad.
Everybody agrees on the panel, including Kai, that we need a really strict deterrent. So now, for our second question, before he has time to come back at me, Michael Webb is asking, how can photographic ID, digital or otherwise, possibly work when religious face coverings are permitted? I'm going to throw that one to you, Kai.
That's a bit mean, Renee. Well, how does it work? I'm not going to pretend like I understand. I'm not the digital ID expert on this panel.
How would you suggest it works?
How do their passports
sure.
work?
That's a
How do
very
their
good
passports
question.
work?
Surely you step into a private
passports?
room with a person you're
Yes, I think
but I would say they don't work full stop. So the answer is they wouldn't, regardless of the face
Well, yeah, of
covering.
course.
Yes.
Of course.
Not least of all because we don't have the money for that either.
What, the face coverings?
No, we can afford that. We've proven that we can afford those in the COVID pandemic.
Well,
No, we can't afford digital ID. I mean, there's just the cost of it alone is staggering.
Well,
what a waste of money.
I'm glad that we can't afford
It won't go through. It won't go through. There's going to be such a huge rebellion against this. Reform, Lib Dems, Tories are all going to go against it, and I would not be surprised there are at least 80 Labour MPs that rebel against it as well. I don't think it'll go through.
I mean, in sense, I think answering the question sensibly, I think that you are allowed to have face coverings in your passport photo. Sorry, not allowed in your passport photo. So then you're asked at the airport to step into a private room and to uncover your face.
But also, isn't the point that digital ID being on your face will mean that it'll work like an Apple ID or whatever Google does? I mean, it's on your biometrics, so it's up to you how you want to access that on your phone.
Good point. How sinister.
So it's actually better, sort of, well, it makes things, it reduces the friction on the state, which is exactly what digital ID is for. No more people who man photo booths for people in invitas.
How odd. Every woman in a hijab looks exactly the same. They are a tool of oppression. Get rid of them.
Well, they only look the same with their hijab on.
That's right.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying
Yeah.
take that off.
You can't just use the same picture.
If you take it off, you reveal the wonderful individuality
Absolutely.
of that person.
That's not allowed, though, is it? Now, for our third question on that spiky topic, Tony Cosgrove's asked, should Lord Mandelson be stripped of his title?
Yes. Absolutely. He's lied to the British public. Starmer claims that he's lied to him as well. The fact that he was friends with Epstein is one thing, because, as we know, a lot of people were and might not have been aware of what was going on. But to then coach him and email him whilst he was in jail for sexual predatory of young children. It's unbelievable, isn't it? I just think it's absolutely shocking, and he is just brazen about it. He doesn't care. He's still in the Lords. Will he get a severance package, which will probably be 6 figures? He probably will. It's unbelievable. This man is just shameless.
I agree with you.
Especially in these sensitive times.
Yeah.
I mean, people are in so much more trouble for so much less. It just seems completely disproportionate that he's still holding his head up high.
Do you think he should not be stripped of it, Kai?
Yeah, of course. I mean, if we're talking about the House of Lords, I mean, you want to look at liars and shysters over the many centuries that has existed,
You'd strip
then the
all-
House of Lords is where you'd
Abolish them
the
all.
House of Lords is where you'd look. Like, whether he should have a role in the in the legislature, you know, he's at the minute, obviously, he's on leave of absence, which seems bizarre to be on leave from the House of Lords, but he is. And I don't think he should be a practising legislator. But I'm not into this sort of, stripping people of titles, whatever. I mean, these sort of symbolic gestures. Let's look at actually, you know, I think he's been punished enough, frankly.
But I think it just shows a real lack of judgment. No, that's one argument, but it shows a serious lack of judgment, and we do not want a parliamentarian with that poor judgment to be legislating on a law.
But we have plenty of laws.
In the Lords.
I think they just think they're going to get away with it. I don't think it was...
That's poor judgment.
We have plenty of people who have the title but not the role. Right.
Well, the title...
All those hereditary peers who still exist but don't have a role in the House of Lords.
That's a good point. Title one thing, but being a Lord, no.
Interestingly, there's a comment on your say that says, by a British lady, says another reason the Terrorism Act needs to be repealed after George Galloway has been arrested tonight. And Jacob Rees-Mogg has actually gone on to Twitter to say, actually, whilst we might not like what George Galloway stands for, we might not like his sympathies with Russia, he should be allowed to do what he wants and say what he wants, and we just deal with it. And I think that does back up what we've been saying earlier, doesn't it? That there is freedom of speech. We should be allowed people to be heard. What do you think?
Well, am I the only one who thinks this story is absolutely bizarre?
Well, we don't really know the full facts of it,
we
though,
don't-
to be fair, because the police said he wasn't arrested. The party is saying that he was, but he's allowed to continue on his journey. Maybe he might have just been stopped at customs, as that people get... I mean, who
Smuggling in
knows?
too many
Has he
cigarettes.
been on a holiday with the missus, and they're suggesting that maybe in Moscow,
Not where I
Bit of an odd destination.
Well, didn't Bernie Sanders go on his honeymoon in the Soviet Union?
Did he?
I think so.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Your type, Kai.
But I think it just comes back to freedom of speech, doesn't it? Freedom of action, where, look, I hate racism, but I don't want it to be pushed underground by giving people draconian sentences, because once people are underground,
Absolutely.
you can't deal with them. If I can see the racists...
You want to know where they are.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You want to know where they are, what they think.
And if there are Putin sympathisers out there, I want to know where they are.
Well, luckily, with George Galloway, he's made it pretty obvious where his sympathies lie, so that makes it easy, at least.
OK, well, anyway, if you do want to get away from all of this rubbish, you could enjoy unlimited Great British Getaways with our latest giveaway. It's your chance to win this brand new 4-berth motorhome that I want, worth over £74,000 and a whopping £30,000 in tax-free cash to spend on anything you like. I would say it would be going off grid would be the best idea. It's our biggest prize today, and here's Hayley Sparks with all of the details you'll need.
It's our biggest, greatest Great British giveaway to date. Your chance to win a prize package worth over £104,000. You could be driving away with this brand new Benamar Primero motorhome. With thanks to Marquis Leisure, this 4-berth home from home comes complete with integrated kitchen and bathroom areas, sky view roof lights, and has all the tech you'd expect from the latest 2025 model. We'll also give you an incredible £30,000 in tax-free cash to make sure any adventures in your motorhome are taken in style.
For another chance to win, text WIN to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus one standard network rate message. Or text BONUS to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB16 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 31st of October. The winner will be contacted live on GB News, week commencing 10th November. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
So, up next, everybody, do you miss the noughties? That, for anybody who doesn't know, Ellie doesn't know because she wasn't really born. It was 2000 to 2009. Because the actress Emily Blunt does know. She says that the world has become so earnest. She might be right on that. I think she probably is. It's now been revealed, for example, that footballers have been told that "come on, lads" is offensive. We're going to discuss this after the break, so please do not go anywhere.
Hi, I'm Michelle Dewberry, and my show is your opportunity to cut through all the noise and dive in headfirst to some robust debates. Ideas clash.
Situation, isn't it?
Because
the failure is
you're deliberately avoiding my point. Nothing's held back.
And if you think this is the end of it, wait for more.
And we do not shy away from the difficult stuff.
Sometimes I want to shake people and say, if only you understood.
So join me on Jubes and Kerr weeknights at 6 p.m, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
Patrick Christie's Tonight, weekdays from 9 p.m.
What on earth is going on at our university? So Professor Stephen Greer had worked for the University of Bristol for 36 years when his career was halted after a false accusation of Islamophobia. The issue arose when Greer taught about the Charlie Hebdo attacks during a human rights module, and a student who didn't actually attend the course complained. Well, I'm delighted now to be joined by Stephen Greer himself to explain what happened. Stephen, thank you very much. Tremendous to have you on the show. Can you just explain the circumstances that led up to you being accused of Islamophobia, please?
Well, out of the blue, or almost out of the blue, I received a complaint about a module I'd been teaching on a unit, a human rights unit, entitled Islam, China and the Far East, for nearly 15 years without incident. Which included the increasing critical literature about human rights issues in Islam, China, and the Far East. And my principally, as I said, the principal complaint, it did include a complaint about Charlie Hebdo, but the principal complaint was about the fact that I had referred students to the authoritative academic literature. And the student who complained was the president of BRISOC, the University of Bristol Islamic Society, who was a medical student who'd not attended any of the course himself, and he claimed to be acting on behalf of anonymous students. And there were all kinds of other procedural irregularities in the complaint, but the university decided to entertain it anyway. Okay. And I was exonerated after a 5-month inquiry. Then the university said, well, they were publicly announced. They took the module off the syllabus.
GB News, the People's Channel.
Decisions made in Washington aren't just shaping America, they're shaping Britain too. From migration to global security, from crime to health. Whatever happens in the White House today
will be felt in your town or city tomorrow.
That's why The Late Show is live from Washington, DC.
Cutting through the politics to show you what it all means for Britain.
The Late Show live every night at midnight.
Only on GB News,
Britain's news channel.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Saturday 5 Extra. Thank you for all of your messages so far. Now, actress Emily Blunt, who was born, I've checked, in 1983, has confessed that she misses the noughties, saying that the world has become so earnest and so tiptoed. I guess what she means by that is just to think about everything that she says or does. She adds that it can be such a relief now to laugh at something inappropriate. Maybe the pendulum's going to swing. And that feeling of political correctness gone mad may resonate at this ridiculous news. Footballers have been told that the phrase "come on, lads" is an offensive term that players should avoid. Berkshire and Buckinghamshire Football Association have published an inclusive language guide. It's useful, isn't it? Why do we need these things? We can all speak. The 26-page guide discourages words such as linesman, with players advised to use assistant referee instead to be more inclusive. Do you miss the noughties? Oh, I do. When we didn't have to worry about nonsense like this. So to discuss this, I'm really pleased to welcome radio and TV presenter Alex Dyke. So thank you, Alex Dyke, for joining us tonight. When I read this kind of stuff, I get so infuriated. And, I mean, I guess I'm old. I got married in 2000, so I lived through the noughties, and they were indeed wonderful times. I'm just not sure why we need 26-page guides on telling us how to speak.
I know, guys, it's crazy, isn't it? And I can go all the way back to remembering the 1970s. And I think the 70s, the 80s, the 90s and the noughties were all quite close as decades. And things really started to change round about 2006, 2007. So I've done some stats for you. I made some notes for you that we can talk about in a mo.
We love
but as
data.
far as this football situation is concerned, I'd just like to point out that we as humans have been speaking the same kind of language in this country for between 1,000 and 1,200 years. And they expect me and they expect you to change within 5 minutes. It's absolutely ridiculous. Now, these guidelines have gone out to, I think it's 600 football clubs, and that equates to 34,000 players being told, by the way, and you're instructing me on what I can and can't say in the clubhouse, at the side of the pitch, on the football field. So I can't say to a friend, if I'm part of this football association, part of this league, oh, we're having a bit of a night tonight, guys. You might want to bring your wife along. They don't want me to say that. In fact, they've said, don't say bring your wife, say bring your partner. Well, that's fair enough. But if I get it wrong in their eyes, that doesn't mean that I'm racist or sexist or ageist. It means I'm just talking the way I've always talked, and I don't see a real reason for me to change. I'll be respectful to your religions, and I'll be respectful to the younger generation, but don't tell me I have to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree more. And this is the problem, isn't it? When did we reach the point that we feel that we have to tell people how to speak? We learn to speak as a child. We develop in certain ways with different accents, different education makes us all speak differently and sound more interesting. But to suddenly have our language policed, for most of us that are over the age of 30, is a really difficult terrain to live on.
Yeah, and by the way, I don't want my kids or my grandkids to be referred to by the ref or the coach or the linesman or the linesperson or the assistant referee, whatever I've got to call them. I don't want them to be referred to as they. I want my granddaughter to be referred to by her name or as she, and my grandsons to be referred to as he. So this is a two-way street. It's not all about these woke individuals who make up these ridiculous rules. I think woke started, and it was a really good idea, because woke was all about being kind to people. But like all of these things, it gets hijacked by the left and turned into something quite bitter and spiteful.
Yeah, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Alex, what year do you think the UK peaked?
Well, that's a really, really interesting question. And everybody of a different age would have a different answer. But I made some notes for you guys, because I knew I was coming on tonight. And look at this. This is just I'm going to start with a biggie and end with a biggie. But these things were definitely better back in the day, whether that was the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, or even the early noughties. First one, healthcare. My children can't believe that we used to have a family doctor. You could go to the same doctor, you could ring up on a Tuesday morning and see that doctor by Tuesday evening, at the worst, Monday morning. Healthcare, the family doctor. A stronger sense of community. We definitely had a stronger sense of community. Affordable housing, so first-time buyers could get on the housing market. Stable jobs, no 0-hour contracts. Who the hell thought of that? What a stupid idea. And then safer cities. I don't feel that safe coming into London. When I come up to GB News and guest on shows, I don't feel as safe in London as I always had done. That's a biggie. And then I'm going to end with another real big one, like healthcare and the family doctor. Safer streets for our children. Now, there's one thing I believe that connects all of those: healthcare, community, affordable housing, stable jobs, no 0 contracts, and safer cities. The one thing that links all of those, in my opinion, is immigration.
Agree with all of that, but you haven't given me a year.
Right, okay, a year. Well, for me, it would probably be the late 70s. I think the late 70s, there was a lot more freedom. And I know you've heard people of my age say this before, but in the summer holidays, you got on your bike and your mum and dad would say, be back in time for your tea. If you're going to be out later, maybe give us a call, but be back before it gets dark. Yeah. I mean, they were halcyon days for my generation.
Yeah, look, Alex, going back to this language thing, I mean, I don't go to a lot of football. I'll be honest, I've never been to any football, but the people who've written this guide, they say that the language sets the tone. You've obviously been to a lot of football. Does the language set the tone, or is it the testosterone, the beer, the sport spirit? Is it something like that, or is it the language?
Well, if you go to any football match and you take your children, and I go to watch Southampton quite regularly, it's a very, very family-friendly atmosphere at a football match. But young children, you might have to give them earplugs because the language, they don't want to worry about the they and the he. They want to worry about the effing and the jeffing that's done in front of the children. This is all absolutely back to front. And if we're all just kinder to one another and nicer to one another, we wouldn't have to worry about all of this woke garbage.
Fair enough, yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, thank you so much, Alex, for coming on. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong. I find the story quite confusing. There's nothing wrong with a bit of come on, lads, on a Saturday night. But do you think that some of this is all going to boomerang back as people get tired of cancel culture in the next few years?
I'm waiting for that to happen. And I thought a few months ago, you know, Trump is pushing this. I can see this going in the right way. But I just think with Keir Starmer and the Labour Party at the moment, this won't shift until we get a new government, or maybe Labour get a new leader. I can't see it starting to shift in Britain until that day of reckoning, if you like, but I want it to. I just want it to go back to all of us slapping each other on the back, me not having to worry about if I slap you on the back, oh, that's inappropriate. I'm only being nice. I'm only trying to be friendly. I'm quite a tactile guy. Doesn't mean I'm being inappropriate.
Tactile guys get in trouble now. Ellie,
they do.
Oh, yes. So whose fault is this all? Surely is there a particular group? Is it the lack of Christianity in the country? Is it a particular leader? Who started all of this woke nonsense?
Is it Tony Blair?
Is it his fault?
Yeah.
Is it Blair?
It started, we've wound the clock back enough now, haven't we, particularly on GBNews, to see all of this actually started with Tony Blair and the new Labour government in 1997, although we didn't realise at the time because it was a tiny little snowflake which has snowballed out of control. So I believe it started with the Blair government and has just got worse and worse and worse. And all we need is common sense. I went and bought a morning paper this morning and the lady in the shop said, "Morning, love. Here's your paper." I didn't think it's inappropriate. I just thought she's being nice. She's talking to me how she probably talks to her children or how she talks to her husband. She's showing me some affection. I'm not going to get on my high horse about it. It's ridiculous.
Oh, Alex, you and I should, you know, break this bread and talk about it because I agree with you 100%. But unfortunately, I think we are a dying breed at the moment. So I hope it does swing the other way. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. It's been really interesting. And you carry on patting people on the back.
I will. If I were there, guys, you know I'll give you all a big hug.
Oh, thank you. Have a good evening. So, still to come tonight, everybody.
I'm sorry, you should know. Stop peddling nonsense.
An LBC caller got a grilling, but can any of you guess why? Find out more in our triggered tantrums to come. But next, it's High Five, where we take you through our favourite and most uplifting stories of the week. And this is where you might see me attack Kai. President will reveal what this image is all about. You're with the Saturday 5 Live on GB News.
Can't wait to get in that sea.
Lovely and warm.
Just like the feeling of having great travel insurance.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News Travel Destinations Forecast.
Storm Gabrielle could bring some unsettled weather across parts of Spain and Portugal, turning wet and windy here. We could see some blustery showers move through across Madeira, eventually pushing south into parts of Tenerife. But where we see the storm, it's likely we'll see some wet weather, possibly even some strong winds, particularly around exposed coasts. Across much of northern Europe, mostly settled, but it's likely we'll see continuous showers across the Adriatic coastlines and at times across parts of Greece. A mix of showers and sunshine into next week, and temperatures around about average for the time of year.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News Travel Destinations Forecast.
Good evening, welcome to your latest GB News weather from the Met Office. It's been a quite damp Saturday for many of us, and that rain that we've seen will gradually clear its way eastwards as we go throughout Sunday, where it will turn a little bit drier. But the weather front giving us that rain still situated out to the west of the UK through Saturday evening, slowly transitioning its way eastwards as we go through the rest of this evening. It will continue to bring some quite heavy rainfall across parts of Scotland, that pushing its way northwards into the early hours of Sunday morning. And that weather front across the southeast as well could be quite slow to clear, but it'll be across parts of Wales and southwest England that we're likely to see the chilliest temperatures, perhaps the odd touch of frost in places. And under those clear skies, we could see some mist and fog too. However, a bit of a milder start, particularly if you're stuck underneath that cloud and rain. Quite a damp start too across much of northern Scotland. Some outbreaks of heavy blustery rain, some showery rain as well. A little drier further south and further east, but there will still be a few showers around, and a similar picture too across parts of Northern Ireland and northern parts of England, with a few showers to start the day. Once any mist and fog has cleared, it will be parts of Wales and southwest England that see the brightest start on Sunday morning. But across the southeast, that weather front does continue to linger for a time, bringing some cloudier skies, some outbreaks of patchy rain as we go towards Sunday afternoon. The weather front in the north clears its way northwards, perhaps still affecting parts of Shetland and Orkney through Sunday afternoon, but for many it'll be a day of sunny spells and one or two isolated showers in the north, and pleasantly warm in that prolonged sunshine across the south with highs of 19 or 20 degrees. That weather front eventually clears its way across the southeast into the start of Monday, and it'll be a dry, bright, but perhaps rather chilly start on Monday morning. Any mist and fog that we see could be a little slow to clear. Further north, that sunshine quickly turning hazy as we see a weather front arriving across the northwest, and that sets us up through much of next week with a northwest-southeast split developing, staying dry in the southeast. But temperatures are a little on the rise by the time we get to Wednesday.
Westminster's full of talk, but out here, it's the real world.
Am I allowed to talk then?
No, that's it. This is where it matters, real people and real lives. That's what politics is all about.
The fact has Trump made a good start? No.
Straight answers, no spin, and just a couple of pints.
How many fingers have I got up? About 10.
So join me for Lee Anderson's Real World every Friday at 7 p.m. only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Decisions made in Washington aren't just shaping America, they're shaping Britain too. From migration to global security, from crime to health. Whatever happens in the White House today
will be felt in your town or city tomorrow.
That's why The Late Show is live from Washington, D.C.
Cutting through the politics to show you what it all means for Britain.
The Late Show live every night at midnight.
Only on GB News,
Britain's news channel.
Welcome back to the Saturday Five, everybody. It's now time for High Five, where we all discuss our favourite moments from the past week, which in this day and age is quite hard to find sometimes, I can tell you. But let's start with Will.
Yeah, find it I have, Renee, because this is an absolute cracker. To be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, I can't actually remember the paper that I read this, but there was some article this week, the Telegraph or the Times, about the Dull Men's Club, which started as a Facebook group and it now has several groups, you know, chapters across the world, millions of members, and they basically revel in the mundane, quotidian aspects of life. So this page talks about things like whether you should have the toilet roll going that way or that way. They talk about, you know, how you can disassemble electrical appliances. They talk about basically anything boring and dull and mundane, you know, which you probably wouldn't associate with interesting conversation. They do it. I love it. What a fantastic idea. Huzzah to the gentlemen who have set this up. If you actually want to support them, by the way, some cracking merch that they've got there. I actually can't read what it says, but the Dull Men's Club caps. in praise of dullness. What a great way for men to connect, because we all know men like to connect over boring, silly, nothingy kind of things.
I agree. It's like the garden shed, isn't it?
Yeah.
It really is.
I've got a confession. I have this. I've joined this Facebook page. It's absolutely fascinating. It's not dull. They're underselling themselves, but they're very humble. People do like men.
But are they fixing doorknobs, that sort of light bulbs, all that sort of stuff?
I don't understand. But it's just so wholesome.
Well, I'm afraid we have to move on to something much more interesting now.
It's dull by definition.
So my high five is a pig called Norbert, and you're going to see him now. Norbert has just won the Guinness Book of Records for a pig on a skateboard, fastest pig on a skateboard, over 10 metres. I mean, look at him. He's just adorable.
Shameless, Renee. Absolutely shameless.
That, guys, made my week. That's all I'm going to say.
Your week?
Wow. I feel like it's not going that fast. Or is that just really awful of me to say? I mean, I suppose it's got short legs, I guess.
Don't diminish that pig's achievements.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Do you remember the baby monkey riding on a pig? Do you remember that video? Baby monkey, baby... And that was a better pig video for me, I'm just going to say.
Esther, can you put it on it?
Well, yeah, I think I can. There's no cute pigs in this. But mine is a story of a cafe called Nibbles in Kent. And the co-owner, whose name is Dave Wheeler, was losing his sight. Now, he used to be a joiner. He had a joiner company. And because his sight was suffering, he decided to set up this cafe. And he's created a train system, like a model railway train system that serves the customers.
Yeah.
And this has increased their business by threefold. They're now treble the bookings. And how good is that when we hear about people with, disabilities, maybe taking benefits? He's gone, what can I do? And he's had this fantastic business idea.
I love it. Rachel Reeves will tax it, but I...
So this is the British answer to the sushi train.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
This is the fastest pig on a train, isn't it?
It's
a bacon butty.
I don't think it beats the pig, but anyway, Ellie, what have you got?
Oh, yes. Well, the British Museum is having its own Met Gala ball, and the first ball is, according to the Times, going to be hosted in October. And I think that's really exciting because the Met Gala in New York famously raises a whole load of money. I think it was $31 million last time round. And I think this is great fun, and we can celebrate fashion, culture, etc. British Museum.
How do we make sure that this isn't just attended by liberal, lefty
Probably will be.
It
probably
like the
will
Met
be.
Gala is, because that is insufferable, where basically everyone is,
Yeah, but it's good for the... Well...
I like it, but now I'm going to move on to the highlight of the show, which is Kai.
Yes, it's the one you've all been waiting for. In the last month, the World Heart Federation has been gearing up to its 21st anniversary of World Heart Day, which seeks to improve heart health and access to cardiovascular care. So the campaign has been running for the last month and finishes on the 29th of September, which is World Heart Day. And the Keep the Beat Challenge has encouraged people to do 25 minutes per day of exercise or of moving around for 25 days in September, running up to the 29th. But also, public health experts across the world have been teaching people how to improve their heart health, which includes CPR and how to do CPR, which now, dear viewers, Dr. Renee, seeing as we do have a doctor on the panel, it'd be a shame not to make the most of it. Dr. Renee is going to do a quick demonstration on your favourite left-wing person. I will lie down.
So I'm just going to say that normally I check just drunk.
I'm not drunk.
That he was actually dead at
Yet.
the start. We're going to skip all the niceties, but if you want to give good CPR, what you would do to the person who is actually in front of you is you would actually make sure that their head was tilted back like this. You want your arms straight, put your hands like this, and then just at the bottom where the bone ends on his chest, you would press, and you want to press for about 5 centimetres each time, and you want to do 2 beats per second. And some people sing Nelly the Elephant, Nelly the Elephant.
I thought it was...
Goodness me, it's quite
Staying alive.
She saved my life, ladies and gentlemen. Can we have a round of applause? Oh, amazing.
That was great.
Well done, all involved.
I will. qualified now to do it.
Yeah, that's our first day training. Brilliant.
Do your beat for the Keep the Beat challenge. Move around and make sure you keep your heart healthy. That's the story.
That's the key, isn't it? The key is that exercise is really important. And you know what? You can do exercise for your heart in your house. You don't need to go to a gym. You can run up and down 2 steps, you know, for 20 minutes. That's a really good cardiac workout. You know,
walking's good for you.
Walking is
I walk everywhere.
Walk everywhere. I walk everywhere.
It's very good for your heart.
That's fantastic. OK, now we've got so many comments, and as we always boast that we read out more comments than anyone else. We've got from Johanna, we've got Renee. If I won the camper van, I'd be off away from this country and keep driving until I found a non-woke, crazy place to stay, and I would forget to come back with my mobile phone listening to GBNews.
Oh, well, she wouldn't be the only one to leave. She wouldn't.
I don't know where she's going to end up, to be honest.
We have also had a complaint by a woman that there are now too many women on the panel.
What can you do?
Too many women?
DEI's gone mad.
Do you know what? Usually I'm a
What is this woke garbage?
Woke nonsense.
It's woke nonsense.
Assumed my gender.
Yeah, that's true as well.
How do you know?
Are you?
How do you know?
Yeah. I'm sorry, they, them. You know, usually I'm alone, and it's really nice to have female company on the panel. Sorry, guys. Taking a more serious turn, Paul Tarving from Cheshire has said that Farage is a danger to the future democracy of this country. He's already taken the first step that all 20th century dictators take in appointing himself as party leader without an election. If reform ever got to power, it would take the next steps away and a one-party state under dictator Farage. So it's quite interesting, isn't it? Everybody thinks that everybody on here is supporting reform, but not everybody is, and we do read those comments too.
It's interesting.
I have got Kai as a lefty I like. There's not many of Kai's around.
Oh.
That means a lot. That means a lot. I did really appreciate the viewers' comments last week when you deigned to let me present on this show, and thank you for bearing with me. I hope I did you proud.
Even though I was out last week, I actually went to a Lovers Rock revival.
Oh, wow.
And, with my other half, Janet Kay and Carol Thompson, and I watched the first 10 minutes and I thought you were very good.
Thank you.
So, up next, guys.
Quiet. You're really obnoxious.
But why did President Trump give a reporter the hush and the look? Find out in our last batch of triggered tantrums. You won't want to miss them.
At GB News, we love to hear from you, our loyal community. So drop us a line at gbnews.com/yoursay. There you can talk to each other and also to the presenters live on air. gbnews.com/yoursay, because GB News is your channel, Britain's news channel.
Hi, I'm Michelle Dewberry, and my show is your opportunity to cut through all the noise and dive in headfirst to some robust debates. Ideas clash.
Situation,
No,
Because the failure is...
You're deliberately avoiding my point. Nothing's held back.
And if you think this is the end of it, wait for more.
And we do not shy away from the difficult stuff. Sometimes I want to shake people and say, if only you understood. So join me on Jubes & Co. weeknights at 6 p.m, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
From the school run to the home run, watch a new show for all of Britain.
So he can say whatever he wants.
A straight-talking show where all voices are heard.
And, you know, when are we going to stop talking about smashing the gangs and actually do it?
With the stories that matter from every part of our country.
There's a bit of a crash landing there for your Chancellor.
Bold, fearless and standing up for you. That's me, Martin Daubney, 3 p.m. till 6 p.m, weekdays, here only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Westminster's full of talk, but out here, it's the real world.
Am I allowed to talk now?
No, that's it. This is where it matters, real people and real lives. That's what politics is all about.
The fact that Trump made a good start, no.
Straight answers, no spin, and just a couple of pints.
How many fingers have I got up? About 10.
So join me for Lee Anderson's Real World every Friday at 7 p.m, only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
You want to know what's really going on in the corridors of power? Labour don't know what to do with you half the time, and that makes you quite lethal in the chamber. Get behind the headlines with Chopper's Political Podcast. Join me, Christopher Hope, as I sit down with the great and the good of British politics. We'll see where this ruling takes us. These are the stories shaping our nation. Chopper's Political Podcast, available now on all platforms. Listen in and stay ahead.
Britain was once the envy of the world. But look around. A nation that no longer knows what it is or where it's going. A country that's broken. How do we fix Britain? How do we bring it back? Friday night with Matt Goodwin at 8 p.m, only on GB News.
In the GB Newsroom, we bring you the news as it happens.
With our team of dedicated journalists across the UK,
we're ready to keep you up to date with what's happening every half an hour, every single day. Bulletins here on GB News,
the People's Channel,
Britain's news channel.
Welcome back, everybody, to the last bit of the Saturday 5 Extra. It's now time to reveal the last of our triggered tantrums.
Every time.
Do I explain? Is it just going to appear? Are we going to see it? I'll tell you about it. Okay. So this is a lady, I guess from America, who is having a bit of a meltdown because she says she can't wait for her white family to die so she can give these objects back to people who, and I'm quoting, deserve them. So I think these are kind of indigenous craft type things. Never mind that the people who sold them probably make their living by selling this stuff to white people, any people.
If they didn't buy them in Walmart.
Well, OK, fair enough. But she thinks that they come from these people. I mean, it's a bit like sort of taking a steel girder back to somebody who made it in Scunthorpe and saying, hey, you deserve this. It's very... I think it's just silly.
It's particularly detached from reality, these people, isn't it? But these are exactly the people who shouldn't, for instance, work in the NHS because of their views. As we discussed earlier.
We have discussed that earlier. I mean, I saw a very similar thing yesterday with, I don't know if you saw it, with Serena Williams complaining about a cotton plant in a hotel because of her, it made her trigger because of her ancestors. Does she not sleep on sheets or wear cotton underwear? Or...
It was odd that. I saw that video as well and I was quite surprised. It doesn't make me feel good. And, I mean, she was staying in a hotel. What's a hotel going to do? I mean, don't have it in your home if it doesn't make you feel good, fine. But you know, it's no one else's sort of position to make sure that every single person is feeling comfortable all the time. And I just think it's nonsense.
It was a bizarre thing, and I thought better of Serena, actually.
Yeah, all her accomplishments, you wouldn't think that would be
triggering. So, Ellie, what have you got?
Yes, well, it's classic Trump. And he does make us all laugh. It's a reporter being very rude and not waiting to be called upon, and so shouting over him. And what does Trump say? He says she's a...
Mr. President, when are you going to give details?
We're going to be going into New York, too.
Mr. President...
And we're going to be going in quiet. You're really obnoxious.
I'm not obnoxious, but I'm trying to ask you, what about your plans for
really
Memphis?
Obnoxious.
I'm not obnoxious, but I am asking, what are your plans for Memphis? Many people want
I'm not going to talk to you until I call on you.
What are your plans for Memphis?
Who else? Yeah, go ahead.
No,
So brilliant, isn't he? And to be honest, you know, I'm a journalist. If I was in a press conference and it's talking to, you know, asking questions, whether it's Nigel Farage, you wait your turn, you put your hand up, Nigel calls on you, or whoever it might be, and then that's the respectful way of doing it. You don't just scream over the president. No wonder he told her to stop. And he has such a brilliant way of doing it, doesn't he?
The thing is, he's brutal. He acts like no other leader we've ever seen. And I think a lot of people say he's rude and he's horrible. I actually adore it because I think it's what we need. But I also think you be a journalist in that room at your peril.
Yes, oh, definitely. Yeah. But one thing I do, where that behaviour is appropriate, and I think we do it best here in Britain, is the great British doorstep of a politician.
Oh, I do love that.
So yes or no, Minister? Yes or no?
Yeah, those are
seen some brilliant examples of the last few years.
Will you be resigning?
Yeah. Outside Downing Street as well, just hilarious, really. That's true.
Especially when they can't escape.
OK, Kai, what have you got for us?
So this is a recent Barney on LBC. Other channels are available. Let's let the audience make their own mind up about who's wrong in this one.
I'm sorry, you should know. Stop peddling nonsense.
I think that we need to just reboot that and then we'll play it again, Kai. But don't worry, I'm looking forward to it because I love LBC. Do you want to just tell us what happened?
Yes, it's when a Farage supporter and Reform voter called into, I think, James Hanson's show on LBC, and they got into a bit of a back and forth over, I think, some of the recent, I would say, misfires by Reform on things like questioning the efficacy of paracetamol, or at least playing into what Trump has said on that, and also about people in the UK stealing and eating swans. Oh. I think we have the full video.
No, we don't.
No?
I was teasing you.
Well, that's good because
were you?
LBC is fading into irrelevance.
I don't know. Nick Ferrari's pretty good. Nick Ferrari's pretty good. He's pretty good in the mornings. You know, he's very, very good with his questions.
But I think generally this audience also likes that we accept that people have different views to us in this country, as long as we get into it a bit and that people get to air their opinions. I think people don't mind it. What I don't like is when people dismiss completely somebody's opinion.
It's like James O'Brien.
Oh, we do have the clip.
So appease Vladimir Putin, be a COVID vaccine denier, promote fake theories about migrants eating swans, and it's all fine by you.
Do you know there's stuff on the internet that shows people stealing ducks and swans and stuff? I don't know whether the hell it's true or not.
You never know. This is it. But it does matter. If you're going to be Prime Minister, you do need to know of what you are talking. Nigel Farage cannot... You sound a bit like Nigel Farage, John, because he just comes on the radio and says, well, I don't know. Well, it might be true. It might be true, Nick. I don't know. Well, I'm sorry. You should know. Stop peddling nonsense.
You see, I would say that as a journalist, he should know that there's a video from the RSPCA
I've seen that
line of some people eating a swan. So it is true, and he should know that.
But it's the pompous, pious, earnest sincerity that all of these LBC presenters have. James O'Brien's the worst. It's just so painful to listen to.
Yeah, they're being condescending and they're just being really rude to these callers. I just think it's so unfair. You know, they're trying to make people look stupid, and I don't think that's fair. And by the way, he doesn't necessarily offer up any actual interesting facts or anything or evidence to counteract the argument. So I just think that's just maybe it's for clickbait. I don't know.
And there's nothing wrong with saying I don't know if you don't know. That's my preferred answer,
Absolutely
actually.
Right.
Yeah, but these journalists can't do that, can they? Because they have such an axe to grind that they have to just tell people that they're wrong. I mean, Peter Weir on Your Say has just said LBC is the station for idiots, and I'm not going to say whether I agree with that or not.
I don't know.
Okay, I'm going to thank everybody on the channel, on the panel tonight. Cressida, thank you for joining us.
Good to be here.
Will, thank you for sharing your cold with me. Thank you, Ellie, as always. Brilliant. And I hear that, from Your Say, that Alex Armstrong has some special news that he's only going to share with us at 9 o'clock. And when he does his brilliant show, Alex Armstrong, tonight, and I'm happy to hand over to him right now.
Thank you, Renee. Yes, I'm going to be sharing some breaking news about Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister, bang on 9 p.m. tonight. Trust me, this could be the final nail in the coffin for the Prime Minister, right on the back of Labour Party conference that kicks off tomorrow. It isn't looking good from what I'm hearing. We'll also be talking about Danny Kruger, the latest Reform UK MP's comments about immigration. He thinks mass immigration, is turning whole cities Muslim. All that and so much more. Trust me, you will not want to miss the show tonight.
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Box Boiler sponsors the weather on GB News.
Good evening. Welcome to your latest GB News weather from the Met Office. It's been a quite damp Saturday for many of us, and that rain that we've seen will gradually clear its way eastwards as we go throughout Sunday, where it will turn a little bit drier. But the weather front giving us that rain still situated out to the west of the UK through Saturday evening, slowly transitioning its way eastwards as we go through the rest of this evening. It will continue to bring some quite heavy rainfall across parts of Scotland, that pushing its way northwards into the early hours of Sunday morning. And that weather front across the southeast as well could be quite slow to clear, but it'll be across parts of Wales and southwest England that we're likely to see the chilliest temperatures, perhaps the odd touch of frost in places. And under those clear skies, we could see some mist and fog too. However, a bit of a milder start, particularly if you're stuck underneath that cloud and rain. Quite a damp start too across much of northern Scotland. Some outbreaks of heavy blustery rain, some showery rain as well. A little drier further south and further east, but there will still be a few showers around, and a similar picture too across parts of Northern Ireland and northern parts of England, with a few showers to start the day. Once any mist and fog has cleared, it will be parts of Wales and southwest England that see the brightest start on Sunday morning. But across the southeast, that weather front does continue to linger for a time, bringing some cloudier skies, some outbreaks of patchy rain as we go towards Sunday afternoon. The weather front in the north clears its way northwards, perhaps still affecting parts of Shetland and Orkney through Sunday afternoon, but for many it'll be a day of sunny spells and 1 or 2 isolated showers in the north, and pleasantly warm in that prolonged sunshine across the south with highs of 19 or 20 degrees. That weather front eventually clears its way across the southeast into the start of Monday, and it'll be a dry, bright, but perhaps rather chilly start on Monday morning. Any mist and fog that we see could be a little slow to clear. Further north, that sunshine quickly turning hazy as we see a weather front arriving across the northwest, and that sets us up through much of next week with a northwest-southeast split developing, staying dry in the southeast, but temperatures are a little on the rise by the time we get to Wednesday.
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Box Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
You could bank an incredible £30,000 in tax-free cash to spend however you like. And if that wasn't enough, you'll also get to drive away in this brand new motorhome. This brand new 2025 Benimar Primero could be yours. It comes with all the mod cons you'd expect from a vehicle worth over £74,000 and comfortably sleeps 4 people. This prize package is worth over £104,000. For another chance to win, text WIN to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus 1 standard network rate message, or text bonus to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus 1 standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB16 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 31st of October. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand.
From the school run to the home run, watch a new show for all of Britain.
So he can say whatever he wants.
A straight-talking show where all voices are heard.
And, you know, when are we going to stop talking about smashing the gangs and actually do it?
With the stories that matter from every part of our country.
There's a bit of a crash land.